So that's a nice gun you've got. Thanks, man. It's gas. What? It's gas? Everyone knows they don't really work in the winter. Well, that's not exactly true. I mean, can you even do this? I mean, watch this. Hi, my name is Bart and this is Chrono. Today we're talking about the differences between gas blowback and electric guns. For the gas blowback, we've got CGS URGI, and for the electric, we've got Spetsna Arms Prime Series AR. Small disclaimer, Spetsna actually sent us the gun, and the CGS is also sent to us by eVike. But this is not a sponsor material, and they have nothing to, well, no input at all on what we're talking about. So yeah, we're gonna be going through the main pros and cons of both of the systems. We're gonna touch on some myths, mostly regarding gas blowback. And yeah, so first we're gonna start with the performance. We've got our Chrono setup, and yeah, let's get shooting. Right, so we've got our Chrono setup, we've got both our rifles, and we're checking performance. By performance, this time, as usual, I don't mean the general output of power, I mean the consistency of the power output. So in the electric, we've got M150, so we should be getting around 2 joules of power. And here we've got a black gas and NPAS turned low, so I would be expecting about 1.5 joules tops. So let's start with a couple of rounds from the gas. Yeah, it works better if you rack it. Not like the electric. 1.09, 1.01, 1.06, 0.99, 1, 0.94, and 0.96. Overall, quite consistent. So yeah, it's unsafe. Let's get it back and let's get the electric a go. We're using the same BBs 026s. So yeah, let's go with this. 1.95, 2.01, 2.01, 1.99, 2, 2, 1.97, 2, 1.99, 1.93. So generally speaking, they're both very consistent, but if I would have to pick a king of consistency here, that would be the electric. We're getting less power variation, and you won't get the usual power drop associated with gas blowback, because when you're getting through the gas in your mag, it cools down, and yeah, just the power output will drop. So I mentioned the NPAS and the spring before. To regulate the power in gas gun, you use either an NPAS, which is a device that regulates the gas flow through your nozzle, or you use a different kind of gas. I'm currently using black gas, which has the highest available pressure, but that's usually what you use in the colder month if you want to actually use your gas replica in the winter, because it is 100% possible to play with gas blowback replica in the winter. On the other hand, if you want to regulate the power in the electric guns, it's a little bit more hassle than that, because you need to change the entire spring, and that will depend on the system you're using. In those Spetsna Primes, it's actually very easy, barely an inconvenience. You don't really need tools to do it. We'll show you how to do it, well, probably in the B-roll about now. But yeah, that's enough about the performance. We're going to talk a little bit about the general feeling of shooting with both of them and then move on. Right, so shooting experience. Again, we're starting with the gas gun. Obviously, they are more realistic. You get the blowback, you get the whole action, and you actually need to rack it. So let's go with that. iPro on, obviously. So semi and full auto, and we're empty. And as you can see, it logs back. So if I want to reload, I need to obviously take the mag, duh. But then when I put the mag in, let's assume that's a fresh mag with BBs in, I can't just start shooting, still need to drop the slide, and then I'm back in business. You get mechanical triggers, so you will have to actually pull it. You can't, I mean, there is regulation of the trigger pull strength to some degree, but it will never be a feather trigger like on the digital triggers on electric guns, as you will see in a second. So let's get the second gun. All right, so thanks to the magic of editing, I've got the second gun without moving. So yeah, like the beloved AEG BB spill from the mags. So let's get the mag in. And yeah, that's pretty much everything you need to do except for flipping safety to shoot. So let's flip that safety and notice how light the trigger is. I'm barely pulling it. There is no resistance in the trigger pull. And because of how they are built internally and the action not going the whole way, you can get quite crazy rate of fire on an electric gas that is just not possible on gas blowback. So if you want to suppress your enemy, you're just gonna do this. I mean, it is an almost constant string of BBs. And yeah, so if you want to just send a constant string of BBs towards your target, then the rate of fire of an AEG will just do the job. The other thing regarding suppression by volume of fire, not accuracy, because you also need accuracy to suppress someone, is the magazine capacity. Because in the electric gun, well, basically, sky is the limit. You can get the high cap rattle, or as most of people do, use mid caps, which is still about 160 rounds. In the gas gun, you usually get something close to your real cap, so real capacity of your mag. So in the case of my AR, it's 40 BBs. So I can't sustain high rate of fire with just 40 BBs. I need to be accurate and don't suppress through volume, suppress through accuracy, and just pin the enemy down because they know that I will hit them. Other thing is that obviously, as you must know, because it's one of the most said things about gas blowback guns, that the magazines are expensive. Yes, I know. I mean, 40 to 70 euro for a mag, it's a lot. But again, you just sort of buy them once. This is not something that you have to buy over and over and over again. So while your entry point is higher price-wise, you won't be spending as much overall, because most of the gas blowback guns on the market right now, they don't really require a lot of internal work. You usually just end up swapping hop-up bucking and the barrel if you really want to. But with the newer and newer guns coming out, they're getting better and better internally. Even the Cima CGS URGI that I have has, for example, steel trigger set and steel bolt carrier. And that's something that usually be replaced. So you're getting that out of the box. It's good. On the other hand, with the electric, usually people spend more money tuning them up. With the Prime series, it seems like it's not entirely necessary, but still there are things that can be improved, like the well-said hop-up bucking. But that's true about basically any gun on the market. So with the GBBRs, you get the higher entry point and, well, more realism, more, well, at least from my perspective, more fun. But with the AEG, you get your, well, BB spitting warhorse that won't let you down, and, well, you won't be spending money on gas to keep it working. Okay, so I mentioned upgrades, so let's touch on maintenance. Generally speaking, personally, I believe that gas blowback guns are easier to maintain, contrary to what most people say. I mean, you obviously need to clean it and lube it, but it's not as annoying or difficult as, let's say, reassembling a gearbox. In general, in the gas blowback gun, there is not a lot of parts that can give you trouble. It's usually a nozzle or some o-ring, so have spares. Maybe a nozzle spring, but it will never be as difficult to assemble, clean, and maintain as assembling a gearbox. On the other hand, with the electric guns, it's usually a little easier to find parts that will fit because most of them are Tokimarui spec anyway, while with the gas guns you have many different systems that are not exactly working with each other. Okay, so who are those for anyway? Literally for everyone. I mean, I'm not gonna judge anyone for playing with an electric gas and over the gas blowbacks that I love so much. And I'm not gonna go into the usual, yes, but you can't milsim with a gas gun. Yes, you absolutely can. There are people attending Milsim West using gas blowback guns, having fun and performing well. And I'm not gonna go that, oh, if you want realistic experience, you can't use an AEG. I mean, that depends how you define realistic. If you want to do hardcore force and force training, then obviously a gas gun will be a little bit better at that. But yeah, again, no judgment here. It's literally just a game we are playing. We're pretending to be soldiers and having fun. So yeah, get any gun you want. I'm gonna stick with gas, despite of, well, some issues that I've been having with them from time to time. And I'm looking at my Scar H with a broken nozzle, or my 1911 with a used up sear that I still need to replace, and they're sort of like being a pile of shame at my home right now. So thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button, get that notifications on. That's our actually important thing because you won't miss any content that I put out. Like, comment, all of that. Thank you for watching. You guys are great. I will see you soon with Glock 17 Gen 5 MOS review by WE Airsoft.